What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is your review for Southern Charm New Orleans, season 2, episode 2. Uh, Look, y'all, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. Reagan's a dumbass. All right, that's Reagan's an idiot. She's smart as shit, but she's dummy when it comes to love. And let me tell you why. Let's go there. So we start this episode off. We see Tamika with her daughter spending time, and it is night and day from last year when we saw Tamika and her daughter go to the mother daughter event, and the daughter was like, "I hate you, and you're horrible," and they had this horrible situation. And what I'm finding is when it came to her family, Tamika has made some changes. When it came to spending more time with her family, being in a better mood, spending more time with her husband, being a kinder, gentler Tamika. When it comes to her friends and her um what's what I want to look for? I don't want to say public life, but when it comes to like her friend, her social issue, her social life, she's still a bitch because she's still a bitch. But when it comes to her family, she's got it together. Well, at least what we see. Seems like her and her daughter have a really good relationship. They're in a much better place. They were shopping together and they were having great conversations. Her daughter even said, "You're a super mom." So definitely whatever she's doing on the private level, no problem. She's doing a great job. But personally, and we'll see that later on in the episode, personally, she's still a bitch. Now, or acts like a bitch. I shouldn't say she is a bitch. Acts like a bitch. Because I don't know her to call her a bitch. So then we get to Reagan. And this is where I say Reagan's an idiot. Okay. We meet Reese. We get some more information about Reese. Reese is the stereotypical rich boy frat boy. He starts off by saying, okay, let me rewind a little bit. Reagan gives us a little more background on this whole situation and how her and Reese got together. Seems like Reese was the guy she dated before Jeff. And it almost sounds like she was sort of dating both of them at the same time, or at least there was some sort of overlap, because she said that her and Reese were like on again, off again, and they would break up, make up, break up, make up. And during one of their breakups is when she met Jeff and started dating Jeff. Then something happened with her and Jeff. Jeff went to Chicago. I don't know if he got traded or whatever, but he went to Chicago, left Reagan, and Reagan was like, there I was without a boyfriend. And I called Reese. We hung out. We had a good time. He got drunk. We partied. And then it ended bad. And then next thing I know, she was getting married. So like literally, he said literally like the next day she was engaged. So Reagan seems like the kind of person that just can't be alone and makes bad decisions because how did you and Jeff break up? Him move to Chicago, you hang out with Reese, and then for whatever reason, Reese pissed you off, and then the next day you're engaged. Something, all that don't even make sense to me. So what happened was when her and Jeff broke up, she said that she always thought about Reese. I think she was still messing with Reese. I think that's what that second house in the French Quarter was about, but I have no proof of that. Um, and that as soon as, and she said that, she reached out to Reese after her and Jeff broke up, and that was basically they've been together ever since. Because her and Reese moved in together 6 months after her and Jeff broke up, and they literally so you didn't just what I mean, like y'all moved in together into this house, and y'all been together ever since 6 months after you broke up with your husband. And I just feel like there was just there's no transition there. So that tells me that either I don't know. There's just too much. This is too much with that. And then Reese is talking to us. Reese is the stereotypical frat boy. Like he was like, yeah, oh shoot. He was like, yeah, she called me, and let me be honest, yeah, I have a gambling problem. So it was about 2 a.m. and I was at the racetrack when she called me. And at first I thought he was kind of joking, but he was like, no, really, I have a gambling problem. Do what? And he was at the racetrack at 2 in the morning when she called him. Okay. So you have a gambling problem. Self proclaimed. Then he breeds horses at his parents' horse farm. He was like, yeah, I basically watch horses have sex all day and smoke weed. That's a dream job, right? This what we doing, Reagan? This what we doing. All right then. Okay. So I don't know. I don't know what Reese's deal is. I don't know if Reagan's deal is. I don't know if she just can't be alone. Like, I don't know what the deal is, but it's a lot of shit. And then we know she's pregnant. She's not drinking. We know in real life she's pregnant. But even if you just go by the show, she's all of a sudden not drinking. And Tamika was like, this is the fourth time I've been around her and she ain't drinking. She pregnant. I'm like, yeah, she pregnant. Because her ass throwing back just like you throwing back. So anyway, that's what that was. So we see Barry and Justin working out. I'm sorry, I called him Reese last week. His last name is Reese, and so I guess that's where I got the Reese from. But they're working out, and we know that and we know that Barry has his own gym, and Reese has lost a lot of. Reese looks good. Reese looks really looks good. He's lost a lot of weight, and he said the law practice is doing a lot better. It's really picked up a little bit. And he was saying how, last year, excuse me, he wanted to invest. Remember, he was trying to work with his friend Diane, and that didn't work out in his own clothing company. But um he seems like he now has an investor, and he's actually working on his clothing line with some sort of material that they can use where it can be sweaty or whatever, but then it doesn't smell or something. I don't know, something crazy. I don't know. I feel like if you were sweating in it, it doesn't matter whether it smells or not. You still need to wash it. But clearly, I don't know nothing about working out, so I'm gonna leave that over there. We see Reagan and Reese go out together, and again, they're talking a little bit more about their love, and because she's getting ready to open up her store in the French Quarter, and Jeff's going to be at the opening, so is Reese, and so they're kind of talking about that whole situation, and you know, again, finding out that they met in college, and I think I already said that part. And she's trying to have this lovey-dovey moment with him, and he ordering drinks. It's just, if you like it, I love it. But he just seems real goofy. Like, he said that the reason why it didn't work out is because he was too busy chasing tail, and he wasn't ready to settle down. And I'm just like, are you ready now? Like, you happy playing house and all of that, but are you really ready to settle down? And but anyway, because we know in real life they've moved on, so I ain't gonna blow it, but so we're getting ready for the party. Everybody's coming to Reagan's gallery opening, including Jeff. So of course everybody is like, oh my goodness, Jeff is going to meet the new boyfriend. Jeff is going to meet the boyfriend. Like, it's this whole, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness situation. And Tamika is like, everybody's just lying. Everybody's just lying to us. I mean, they're just pretending like they're so happy. They pretend like everything is so great. And they're just lying. We know they're just lying. My thing is, Tamika, as a friend, just be a friend. You can't force her to talk to you. You can't force her to tell you anything. And it doesn't mean that y'all aren't friends. Because she was like, I'm supposed to be her friend and she's not telling me anything. Maybe because she just don't want to deal with you. Like, I don't think that, maybe she just don't want to deal with you. And then Tamika was saying how she thinks that, Reagan and Reese were sort of messing around the whole time. And it was just kind of like they weren't really saying anything. I don't know. I'm now on that one, Tamika. I'm kind of with you. I feel like it was something. I don't feel like Reese just fell out the sky. That's all I'm gonna say. That's I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't feel like she fell out the sky. So Reagan is getting ready. She's at the hotel getting ready, and Jeff comes to the room to bring her some champagne and kind of talk to her. And Reagan is acting really weird. And Reagan, Jeff is like, okay, is Reese here? Like, why are you acting so quirky? Why are you acting so weird? But I just think everybody's nervous. I think everybody's just nervous about what's going to happen and how the whole situation is going to fall out. I think everybody's just nervous. And of course, he wants to pop the champagne. She's not drinking. And he's like, okay, what's that about? See, when you're known to be a drinker and all of a sudden you're not drinking, it automatically raises red flags. And I think Jeff might have had an inkling, but he didn't say anything. But he was just like, why is she acting so weird? And it was an awkward, that whole scene was just awkward, and eventually he just kind of left and was like, yeah, I'm about to go find me a bar and have me a drink because this is weird. Like, you're acting really weird right now. Um, so we're at the party. They got a second line going, and here comes Mr. Reese picking up Reagan at the hotel room because Reagan got a hotel room near where the opening was, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, she's just so hot. She's like the nicest looking woman I've ever dated." I know that sounds weird, but I mean, she's just so hot. She's so hot. She's got a nice ass. I know that sounds superficial, but that's what attracts me to her. I'm just like, every time this dude opened his mouth, he just makes me think he's a bigger idiot. You know what I mean? Not a bad guy. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's a horrible guy, but just anyway. So Jeff's at the party having some drinks, getting loosened up, and everybody's having a good time. They're dancing. They got the second line going. They're partying. Reagan's nervous, and eventually she makes her entrance with Reese, and she introduces Reese and takes Reese all around the room and everything. And here's where bitchy Tamika comes out. Tamika's like, the old Tamika would be upset because Reagan introduced Reese to Kelsey before me. But the new Tamika is just going to be cool with it and just be chill. And I'm like, why does it fucking matter? Like, that's the kind of shit that I'm like, why does it even matter, Tamika? Like, why is that even an issue for you? You know what I mean? But okay, whatever. Like, that's the kind of shit that Reagan, I mean, that Tamika cares about. So then Reagan introduces Jeff to Reese, and they go off to the side and have a conversation. And basically, in a nice way, what Jeff pretty much said was, "Don't dog her out, or you're going to have to deal with me." That's pretty much how that conversation went. Like, it wasn't, again, everything was awkward. They were just kind of like, so, and of course, Reese is like, "Hey, he seems like the kind of guy that I might actually like," and Jeff is like, "Yeah, we would never be friends." So it's just like this weird dynamic of the two of them back and forth. But um, Tamika has a conversation with him, and she's like, he's actually kind of a nice guy. Like, I didn't want to like him, but he's actually kind of cool. Yeah, because he was giving you compliments and talking about how nice you look. Um, and then Kelsey, whatever Kelsey does seems to get on Tamika's nerves. And the point blank bottom line period is Tamika just doesn't like Kelsey. She doesn't like Kelsey. And Tamika's like, I've known Justin for a really long time. He's had a lot of girlfriends, so I don't know why I need to waste time getting to know her and becoming friends with her because he ain't gonna marry her. And I'm just like, you're so fucking rude. You know what I mean? Like, and then there was a point where they were all sitting around talking about. Now, I will say this: Kelsey did make an unnecessary comment when Reese was talking to their friend Rachel, and Kelsey was there, and um, they were asking about the horse farming and stuff like that. And Rachel said, "Well, who's your biggest competition as far as horse farms, like breeding, horse breeding? Who's your biggest competition?" And Kelsey gonna say Jeff Charleston. I thought that was a bit rude and unnecessary, and so did Rachel. Rachel told her, go sit over to the side somewhere and keep her mouth shut until I give you permission to talk. But that's probably what I would have told her ass to do too. I don't know if it's the alcohol or if it was just her saying unnecessary shit, but that was just rude and unnecessary and making a situation that was already awkward a little more awkward. You know what I mean? Um, Then Justin was really, really worried about Jeff. And I understand where Justin was coming from, but Justin takes Jeff aside to talk to him. And basically what Justin's thing is, I don't want you to think that you're alone. Like, we got your back, we're your friends, we got you covered. You know, I've had friends that thought they were alone and they've made some really bad decisions. He's had friends commit suicide. So he's very sensitive to his friends and if they are going through something and not really opening up and sharing. And so he pulled Jeff aside to have this conversation, and Jeff was like, yo, I'm good. Like, I'm good. I'm good. He said, no wonder Reese ass ain't never, I mean, Justin ass ain't never got married because he seemed to think that you get married, you get divorced, you kill yourself. He was like, I'm good. Like, I don't understand suicide. I'm not suicidal. I'm okay. But I do also feel like Justin had some legitimate place to come from because we know that last season Jeff did deal with depression. So I don't think it was out of left field for him to and just let him know, look, you got help. You have friends, you have support. Like if you ever feel like it's that bad, call me, reach out to me. Because, like you said, when you've had friends that have taken their own life, you always say to yourself, if I had just called them, if I had just said this, if I had just said that. And if he feels like he sees Jeff feeling alone or feeling some kind of way, that's what he's supposed to do as a friend is reach out to him. You know what I mean? Um, and then we have Tamika and Kelsey. And Tamika is just so rude to Kelsey and telling her she's doing the most and she's over just doing too much and she's And I'm like, no, Tamika, you're doing too much. Like you're being rude and you're doing too much. There was really no reason for Tamika to just be talking to Kelsey the way she was. And I felt bad. I really felt bad for Kelsey because I'm like, she's already sort of the outsider because all of them grew up together. All of them have these long-standing relationships. She's just the girlfriend, and she's new to the group. And I feel like every chance Tamika gets, Tamika makes her feel bad or makes her feel uncomfortable. And so I feel bad for I kind of feel bad for Kelsey. Like I said, even though Kelsey did say something that was a little unnecessary earlier, I don't think she overall did anything to Tamika. And Tamika was just so rude to her for no fucking reason. So anyway, y'all, that's kind of where the episode went down. And like I said, I don't. This is a mess. As far as I'm concerned, it's a mess. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in the comments, please.